Sleeping well was a luxury early truckers simply couldn't afford. In the 1930s, a bed might be a wooden plank, a hard bench, or a corner hastily improvised, yet rest was essential and creativity endless. Today, let's take an unusual journey, from mattresses on wheels to rolling suites with showers, microwaves, and refrigerators. This is how sleep evolved behind the wheel, and trust me, it was anything but easy. The first attempts, an improvised mattress. At the dawn of long-distance trucking, the idea of a comfortable sleeping space simply didn't exist. Still, some builders tried to meet that basic need for rest however they could. For example, a 1931 German truck built by Genschel included a crude sleeping area built right into the cab's bench seat. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. Around the same time, Italy's Fiat 634N offered a similar solution. Sleeping in the trailer, a curious idea. During the 1940s, a US company called Freeho Trailer proposed something unusual, putting the sleeping compartment not in the cab but at the rear of the trailer. Others tried placing the sleeper above the cab or even attached to the front wall of the semi-trailer, as with the 1946 Corbitt 25D. In every case, the sleeper was separate from the driver's cab, which limited both comfort and practicality. The era of the sleeper box in North America. After World War II, the North American market embraced the now famous sleeper box, a compartment integrated behind the cab. Kinwa offered them as early as 1947, in both integrated and standalone versions. Even military vehicles like Ford's heavy tow trucks of the time included independent sleeper options. Meanwhile, Soviet engineers were only beginning to experiment. The experimental Paz 651, based on the Gaz 51, featured a small sofa with storage beneath the cushion, crude, but a start. Creativity takes off. In 1951, Corbitt surprised again with a tall, robust model sporting a huge bulge on its front. This design let the passenger seat recline and transform into a fairly comfortable bed, thanks to the extra space. By 1954, Kinwa launched the TCF 521 CBE series, notable for a cab mounted sideways to the engine. The look was as odd as it was memorable, and the rear sleeping area had an even stranger shape. Europe's swallow's nest. In post-war Germany, a clever solution appeared called the Schwalbenest, swallow's nest, a compact bunk built directly behind the driver's seat. By the 1960s, most European trucks offered a standard bunk behind the seats. But some stood out for their originality. One striking case was the cab over Mercedes-Benz LP 1620. Its rear shelf could fold down, adding versatility to the interior layout. The North American suitcase sleeper. Back in America, designers tried even quirkier ideas, like a detachable suitcase sleeper mounted high at the back of the cab. The lid opened horizontally and the rest was covered by a waterproof canvas. Drivers couldn't use it while driving, but they could rest there during stops. Poor insulation and constant dust and moisture, however, doomed the idea quickly. Discomfort disguised as comfort. Some efforts to add sleeping space were awkward at best. Take the 1963 Ford H1000, which came without a sleeper. A bolt-on module was added that looked like an odd growth and required drivers to climb a vertical ladder to reach it. Hardly practical. Mexico joined the trend with the 1968 Ramirez R22. Its driver's seat converted into a bed, and the doors were modified with outward bulges so a person could stretch out completely. Ingenious and cheap, yet ignored by most other makers. Ingenious British conversions. During the 1970s, British firm Jings Covo Limited specialized in reworking cabs from various manufacturers. Some of its creations turned seatbacks into folding beds. A standout example was the 1978 IRF-B series. Travel farther south to South Africa, and you'd find adapted IRFs with a glass observation pod behind the driver's seat, serving as a bunk and eye-catching but questionable choice under the region's hot sun. Luxury on wheels in the United States. In the 1970s, American truckers began demanding more than just a place to stretch out. That's when specialized companies started building true suites on wheels. One of the most popular was Mercury, based in Gardena, California, which offered rear compartments that could rival a small home. But the company that really took the idea to another level was Libilab. Although it produced only a handful of units, its concept laid the groundwork for what we now call full residential sleeper modules. These cabins included a shower, toilet, microwave, sink, refrigerator with freezer, double bed over the cab, television, dining table, and other details that turned rest stops into a luxury experience. At the time, it felt like science fiction. Today, it's the standard in American heavy-duty trucking. Transaharian, an unrealized Italian dream. One of the most striking ideas of the 1980s came from Italy. Iveco developed a transformable concept called Transaharian, designed for the 190 F-35 model. This sliding cab allowed two beds to be placed in the upper section, while the lower area became a useful living space. The design came from renowned designer Franco Corbitt, yet despite its brilliance, it never went into mass production. It was a solution ahead of its time that remained a museum gem. Zeal's Leap, a Soviet rarity. Influenced by the imposing style of American trucks, engineers at the legendary Soviet maker Zeal decided in the 1990s it was time to experiment. Thus was born the Zeal 13305A, a variant of the Zeal 133A specially adapted for long-distance hauling. This truck featured an extended cab with two beds in the rear, common elsewhere, but a bold departure for Zeal. With a 33-ton payload, the design aimed to win a new generation of Soviet drivers. Unfortunately, the model never caught on. Show models displayed shiny chrome grills and bright finishes, but production versions lacked those touches. Comfort was limited, and compared with Western rivals, the truck simply wasn't attractive to drivers. Scania Topline, a bold solution. In 1995, Sweden's Scania made a big move with the launch of its 4 Series, the direct successor to the successful 3 Series. This new line offered 5 engine options ranging from 220 to 580 horsepower and could be configured with 3 cab types and 4 axle setups. The highlight was its luxury version, the Topline. While all other makers placed the second bunk directly behind the seats, Scania did something unusual. It mounted the bed above the windshield. This layout was innovative, if not the most comfortable, but it gave Scania a unique design identity. The evolution toward total comfort. By the late 20th century, the trend was clear. Truckers wanted not only power and reliability, but also comfort, privacy, and a place to feel at home even hundreds of miles from civilization. The sleeper concept had shifted from a makeshift solution to a key part of truck design. What began as a hidden sofa inside the cab or a bolt-on compartment hanging off the back had become a true rolling micro-home. Extreme architectures and local solutions. Meanwhile, different regions adapted their own ideas. In Mexico, as we've seen, Ramirez R22 trucks solved the sleeper problem with simple door bulges. In South Africa, license-built IRF trucks featured fully glazed bunks, hardly practical under the African sun, but unique all the same. In the United Kingdom, firms like Jing's como.yt kept innovating, turning day cabs into improvised bedrooms with clever fold-out mechanisms. And in Italy, although the Transaharian project never reached production, it proved European design could match American creativity. From discomfort to rolling luxury, what was once an unavoidable hardship, sleeping sitting up or on a hard plank, gradually became a top priority. Large transport companies realized that a well-rested driver is a safer, more productive driver. Little by little, cabs grew larger, layouts evolved, and what began as a rigid bench in the 1930s ended up as a true rolling suite by the 1990s. If these incredible ways to sleep on wheels surprised you, just imagine what's still to come in the world of trucking. Every cab tells a story of ingenuity, culture, and adaptation. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell to keep exploring the most curious corners of trucking history. See you on the next road, where there's always an extraordinary sleeper waiting to be discovered.